Well, hello there everybody, my name is Boxall and welcome to a new Heroes of the Storm video. Today, I'm going to be looking at one of my favourite characters. If you're new to these types of videos, what I do is there's a bit of gameplay, but this time we'll be adding a bit of tutorial sort of vibe about it. And then I'll try and explain my builds, talent choices, what I have to do with Illidan, and try and make your gameplay overall with Illidan better on the battlefield. So his first basic ability, it's called Dive, and what he does is he dives, of course, over an opponent. The range isn't too bad, but it is a close combat ability. Not only does it help you to get closer to your enemies, but it also deals a little bit of damage. The W ability is called Sweeping Strike, so what it does is you can go through enemies, it deals some damage, and it increases your basic attack damage for a few seconds. To polish off Illidan, his final ability is called Evasion. So if a Grey Mane, a Stukov, anybody wants to hit you with their fists and do a little bit of damage, you'll evade it, so you won't get any damage into your face. Yeah, that's all great, but this doesn't seem too strong. He has no AoE, apart from the evade, that's cool, but then is the Sweeping Strike and the Dive really going to deal that a lot of damage? And the cooldowns? Because it's straight, this is where it gets pretty spicy. It's called Betrays First, and every basic attack that you do, not only does it deal a hell of a lot of damage for Illidan, but it also heals you for the damage dealt. The added bonus is that every single time you hit some enemy with your basic attacks, it reduces your ability cooldowns. So let's take this example here with the target dummy. Every time I'm hitting him with my basic attacks, the cooldowns of the basic abilities are going down, which is also the case for the ultimate abilities that we're going to see right now. One is really useful, not as fun to play with, and the other is really fun, but can be pretty good actually, depending on the composition of the enemy team. So I'm going to first talk about Metamorphosis, but what is its purpose? What you do is you have this little area of effect where you damage people in the area and it increases your maximum health. Of course, depending on how many heroes you touch with it, you'll increase your health even more. It's really good in team fights. Imagine an ETC pogo, or even just to engage, try and peel and pick someone off. But then again, it can be used as a way to escape, as it also, now get this, cancels ultimates like Cassia. You also cancel KT with his Pyroblast thing. All these sorts of ultimates, even Chromie when she wants to time-lapse you. So it's pretty cool. It's like invulnerable from Uther, and you also get to run away. But the other fun one, it's called the Hunt. So you charge a target from a very long range. And the best thing about this ultimate ability is that it also stuns the person that you're charging. So if they're on their own and they don't have any healer, any tank to stop you, or any CC, 9 times out of 10 you're going to obliterate your target. The two best things about Illidan is that he can heal himself on his basic attacks, which also helps him to reduce the cooldowns on his heroic abilities and his normal abilities, so he can use them pretty often, and that's why it makes him pretty strong if you can do that. And the second thing is his versatility. He's useful because he can solo lane, you know, he can heal himself on minions, and he's pretty quick to destroy lanes on his own with his Sweeping Strike. And with this versatility comes the fact that he can clear camps, mercenary camps, and even the boss pretty quickly. Especially if you take Metamorphosis, you get this increase of health. You could do this for 10,000 years. But without further ado, let's talk about the talents and the build that I propose. So the first one, at level 1, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to have the choice between two. There's Unending Hatred, which is a passive, which means it's a little quest that when you kill enemies, you gain basic attack damage. And I think as soon as you hit 40 points with this, you also have a little bonus since you gain 20 basic attack damage. This is good on maps when there are 3 lanes, but otherwise I think which is the best one, it's Immolation. When you use Sweeping Strike, it deals area damage for 4 seconds around you. Useful in all sorts of situations. It's good for clearing minions, it's good for camps, and it's also good in team fights and getting people to die. So next at level 4, you have the choice again between two. You have Unbound, which is for your W ability. I think it's more fun, even if it's not that useful in general. But with this Unbound, you also have a quest. So as soon as you've gone through, you know, you've sliced and dicing through some people 30 times, what happens is that you have 2 sets of cooldowns. meaning you could potentially use Sweeping Strikes twice in a row without the cooldown reduction. Usually Friend of Foe is the go-to talent, so what it now does, it increases the range of your dive, but you can also now dive towards your allies. Of course, it doesn't deal any damage to your allies, otherwise that would be futile. It can help you in tricky situations to not die, but it can also be a way to engage, you know, catch up with your tank and then attack somebody. Level 7 is an easy pick. You take Reflexive Block. Dive now grants physical armor, which is good because sometimes you want to dive in and you don't want to die, you want to kill the person. So get a little bit of armor and maybe you won't die before the other person. See what I mean? See what I mean? Yes, you see what I mean. Level 10, I talked about it earlier, both were pretty good. I'd say Metamorphosis is like the go-to ultimate 70% of the time. Level 13, you're going to take Elusive Strike or you're going to take Nimble Defender. Elusive Strike, what does it do? This is extremely decent, as I said previously, if the team has a load of like Greymanes and other Illidan, those that base themselves on basic attacks. But otherwise the better one is Sweeping Strike that grants armor. So for the penultimate level, this is probably the most tricky one to choose, because if you've gone for like a basic attack build, you need to take Fiery Brand, especially if they're tanks, because you'll be able to heal yourself more, reduce the cooldowns, and also deal a shit ton of damage. But otherwise you can take Mark for Death, which means every repeated dive deals extra damage. So if you do a dive, I think you only have 10 seconds to do it again, and it'll deal some more damage. And finally, for this build, this magnificent build made by Exile himself, I'm gonna have to say the two talents that let you improve your ultimates are probably the best. Nowhere to Hide increases the hunt range. Now this becomes more interesting, and it reveals low health heroes. What qualifies as a low health hero? Exactly as Sombra in Overwatch. As soon as a hero is under 25% of their total HP, they appear on the map. Otherwise you can take Demonic Form, which isn't too bad because Demon Form lasts forever, meaning you'll have those wings, you know, as animation, you go pretty scary, go blah, and then you're going to grant yourself a bit of attack speed, which is good depending on the build you did again. So there you go, that's it for the build. I think I've talked about all the talents or the base abilities, the way you have to play Illidan. That's the end of the video. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. I'll be doing one of these as soon as I can. But otherwise, my name is Exile. Have some fun. Go chill out in Heroes of the Storm. See you in the next one. Bye!